Welcome to World of Fun 2.0, where every story has a twist. In the heart of a dense jungle, where shadows stretched longer than the trees themselves, lived a small, unnoticed bird named Aria. She was fragile, with blue feathers that gleamed under the sun. Yet her heart was bolder than most creatures, twice her size. Aria lived in solitude, building her nest on the highest branch of an old banyan tree. She often watched animals come and go, keeping silent, almost invisible. But silence doesn't mean weakness. Her eyes saw everything. The dangers, the cruelty, and the kindness hidden in the jungle's heart. One morning, Aria saw a young elephant calf named Kavi wandering near the river. His trunk splashed happily in the water, his little feet crushing lotus leaves. Kavi had strayed too far from his herd, but in his innocence, he thought the jungle was a playground. Aria tilted her head, whispering, "Child, you don't know. This jungle has eyes watching you." From the shadows, glowing amber eyes pierced through the thick bushes. A tiger, fierce and hungry, crouched low. His body rippled with power, his claws scraping the soil silently. The jungle seemed to hold its breath. Even the wind hushed, waiting for what was about to unfold. Aria's tiny heart raced. She knew what those eyes meant. The tiger wasn't playing. He was hunting. The helpless giant. Kavi bent low to drink water, unaware of death approaching. His reflection in the water looked so calm, while danger crept just behind him. Aria's wings trembled. She was so small. What could she do against a beast as deadly as the tiger? Yet something inside her whispered, "If I stay silent, he will die." And silence is worse than fear. The first cry. With a sudden flap of her wings, Aria darted down, letting out a piercing cry that echoed through the jungle. "Kavi! Run! Danger!" The baby elephant lifted his head, confused. His little ears twitched at her frantic cries. The tiger froze for a second, then growled low, furious at being noticed. His sharp teeth gleamed under a sliver of sunlight. The jungle turns. Dark clouds began to gather, and the jungle grew darker. A chilling wind swept across the trees. It felt like the forest itself was watching the hunt. The tiger crept closer, his tail twitching like a serpent ready to strike. Aria didn't stop screaming. She flew at the tiger, pecking, scratching, flapping with all her might. The tiger roared, swiping his massive paw, almost knocking her to the ground. Her wings ached, but she rose again. "Not today. You will not take him." The battle of courage. The tiger lunged at Kavi. The ground shook under his leap, but Aria darted straight at his eyes, blinding him for just a second. Kavi stumbled backward, trumpeting loudly in terror. His cry carried across the jungle like a desperate drumbeat. The herd heard him. The ground thundered. Trees quivered. The distant rumble of feet grew closer and closer. The final strike. The tiger, enraged, roared louder, trying to finish his hunt before the herd arrived. But Aria refused to stop. She pecked and screamed until her throat burned, and then the herd burst through the trees. Massive elephants charged forward, their tusks sharp, their roars terrifying. The tiger's confidence shattered. He knew he was outnumbered. With one last snarl, he vanished into the forest's shadows. The grateful bond. Kavi trembled, his tiny body pressed against his mother as she arrived. But before leaving, his innocent eyes looked up at the small blue bird, still perched, still shaking from exhaustion. Kavi raised his trunk toward her, as if saying, "Thank you, little warrior." From that day on, Arya was no longer invisible. The elephants welcomed her as a guardian, a friend, and whenever danger lurked, her song became their alarm. Moral of the story: it isn't size that makes you brave. It's the courage to stand against fear, even when you are the smallest voice in the darkest jungle.